Goddamn, why are you watching this shit? Are you a child or what? Oof. Yeah, okay. They might be aimed towards kids. But I've never seen a downwards age restriction. So what's stopping me to watch that stuff? Hello, ladies, gentlemen, everything in between and neither. Today I want to talk about target audiences and my general perception on age as a whole. But before I get into the video, feel free to follow me on my social media on Instagram and Twitter at CommanderNici, just like my channel name. And now let's go. So, what even is a target audience? Google defines a target audience as a particular group at which a product such as film or advertisement is aimed. Well, yeah, sure. But just because a thing is aimed towards a certain group doesn't mean others can't enjoy it. And I sure as hell ain't a kid, preteen or teen anymore. But I enjoy shows like Gravity Falls, The Owl House, She-Ra, Phineas and Ferb, Dino Trucks, Avatar The Last Airbender, Korra. Have I mentioned Steven Universe? SpongeBob. All that stuff, and they are clearly kids shows. And same with movies. I'd rather watch a Disney movie than something more mature and targeted towards people my age. For example, I know 1917 is a brilliant movie. I haven't seen it yet, but from the filming technique alone, I think it's worth a watch and that I should try it. But war movies aren't really my jam. I did enjoy Saving Private Ryan, but I'll come back to that later. And many animes, especially movies that I watch and enjoy, are also mainly targeted towards kids. Sure, they're for everyone, but if you look at the rating, it's clear that it's really actually for kids. But I enjoy them. And it took me many recommendations and mentions by people whose taste I trust to venture into more mature movies. For example, it took me forever to go and watch Saving Private Ryan, even though I ended up enjoying the movie in the end. Or The Shape of Water. Heck, I enjoyed it so much I did a whole ass video on it. And I don't know, maybe it's some weird issue within me that I really tend to go and would rather watch kids stuff or teen stuff. For example, Love Victor really has grown on me, and I'm sad to have season 1 end soon for me. Like next week, as I'm recording this, this will be the last episode of season 1, and I'm not ready for that. I want to continue watching this show. And just because a thing is animated, for example, doesn't mean it's made for kids. When I think about shows like American Dad or Family Guy, I'm horrified to think that kids would watch that, or that ignorant parents would let their children watch that just because it's a cartoon. I think that's scary. And there's some grown-ass men who enjoy My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. For whatever reason. I'm not getting into that. That's mighty thin ice I'm stepping on. But if they're not hurting anyone or harassing anyone or whatever, if they're just keeping to themselves and behave, I'm not bothered by that. I won't go and insult them. I enjoy plenty of stuff that isn't targeted towards me. I love How to Train Your Dragon. And let's be real here, even Star Wars and Marvel aren't really adult franchises. They are aimed towards kids. There's plenty of toys. Yes, they are called action figures, I know. But I'm talking about the more or less cheap, if you ignore the brand money, toys that you get at Toys R Us or Target or whatever your local equivalent might be. And just look at the whole marketing. Disney bought that stuff, and Disney, even though they are a big evil corporation, Disney is mostly aiming towards kids. Or adults who have kids who are gonna pay for the toys. But yeah, so even Star Wars and Marvel aren't 100% adult stuff, even though I'm pretty sure there are a lot more adult Disney fans out there than kids. Well, I meant like Marvel and Star Wars fans. Which actually includes Disney now that Disney bought those franchises. And many kids from back then are now adults who still love Disney, so same thing. And for me with games it's a little bit different because I do enjoy Pokemon a lot, but so do many other adults who grew up with the series. I'm pretty sure there are also adults who haven't played it as a kid and are now getting into it and enjoying it, but I'm thinking they're probably more of an exception to that. And with gaming, I'm more on a broader spectrum of enjoying things. There's The Last of Us 2, which I enjoy, Red Dead Redemption, Far Cry, Wolfenstein, and those are games that I would also be horrified to know that kids would be in contact with them. Like, remember those articles about the concerned moms that were angry at the release of The Last of Us 2 because two lesbians were kissing in the trailer? Scandalous! Think of the children! Do you really think two kissing ladies who love each other and care for each other and do all this nice stuff for each other, like going on a murder spree, but you know what I mean. Like, The Last of Us 2 is a game that is definitely not made for kids. And then you see crazy Karens being like, oh, think of the children, they are gays in the game. And that's something I don't understand. Like, sure, I enjoy other stuff that is actually more mature. Like, I watched a lot of Game of Thrones. I lost track of it, and I haven't watched the last 2 seasons yet, and I don't think I'll ever will, because the hype is over for me personally, and in the broad pop culture opinion, it's also over. I enjoyed watching The Walking Dead, but I kind of fell off of it too, for some reason that I'm not getting into right now. And yeah, so yes, for some things I'm actually the right target audience on things that I'm enjoying, but for a lot of things I'm a lot over the intended audience. Like all the kids stuff that I watch. But I think that's okay. And everyone should be able to enjoy whatever they want. If... yeah, I mean... if they're mature enough for that. Or what, you know what I want to say. Like, I wouldn't want to have a kid play GTA. That's not for them, but an adult playing Pokemon, there's no problem with that. So, yeah, enough about the target audience talk, and now let's get into my next topic. My whole perception on age in general. So let's go. I'm 26 and I get still asked for my ID when I wanna buy a beer, which, by the way, here in Germany can be purchased as soon as you turn 16. Yes, that's young. And yes, that's something, and I kind of get that, because all the people in the stores need to check that, because if they don't, they might get in trouble. And with whiskey, which can be purchased in Germany as soon as you turn 18, I kind of get that, because like the alcohol like that is hard stuff, and yes, so that should be checked even more. And I get now with the Rona going on and the masks, it's a lot harder to tell, but that was before. And many people tell me that I should be happy about it. That later, when I still look as young, I will be happy about that. That people think I'm younger, that I look way younger than I am. But I don't like that. It annoys me. They say I should be happy about it. But I don't want to be perceived as underage. Like, can you imagine someone thinking you're a child even though you've been legally an adult for 8 years? That's rough, and I don't like it. I'm a grown-ass adult. Sure, I don't feel like it, but I'm pretty sure many people my age don't. feel like that either. But what are people my age? Sure, maybe fellow millennials. And I'm just wondering, like, what are people my age? Because when I look at a 20-year-old and I look at them and I think, you're a literal child. And that's just 6 years of age difference. And then I'll go and look at the 36-year-old and I think, yes, that's a person my age. And that's a whole as 10 years. That's an entire decade of age difference with a whole bunch, a lot of different experience. Like, those 36-year-olds, as young children, they saw a separated Germany. I only know Germany is unified and know the border over in Berlin just from textbooks in history class. 10 years is so much different in experience. Even just 1 or 2 years can be, like, if you look at pop cultural phenomenon stuff, you know. For example, I repeated a class and then I had someone I hang out with talk about the whole big issue of, oh, do you remember what you did on 9/11? Like, this whole biggest question that everyone remembers what they did when the news got to them. And I remember them talking about sitting in front of the TV and the program was paused for the news to be broadcasted. And I was like, why were you sitting in front of the TV? I was at school. And then I remembered I repeated a year and she's a year younger. And yeah, so even 1 year can make a huge difference with almost everything. Like driver's license and all that stuff. And with a driver's license you gain a certain amount of freedom which can help you grow as a person. And yeah, but don't get me and you know what, don't even get me started on ageism, because that can go both directions. A boomer not taking a millennial serious because they are too young is just as shitty as an older person not being able to get a job because they are too old. Oh yeah, they have a lot of experience in the work life and they don't get jobs because they are too old. And then there's a millennial who won't get a job because they are too young and haven't gathered experience yet. But how can you gather experience if you can't get a job in the first place because you lack the experience? It's such a weird and fucked up concept, and I'm so glad that I finally found a place where I enjoy working, and if things go smoothly I will stay there for a very long time and I'm glad about it. And yes, so age is such a weird thing, and where I work we have so many people in different age groups. Like, we have people around my age who are in their mid-20s, we have people in their mid-30s, we have people in their 40s, we have people in their 50s, and we have people who are soon to be retired. And we all get along pretty well, I wanna say. Like, and if we don't get along well, we can just move our separate ways. Workplace is big enough for that, and that's something I enjoy, and I can talk to all of those people and we'll find something that we can talk about, even if it's just food, but we get along well. So what even is age? And I don't want to say age is just a number, because that sentence is often used by creeps. So I don't want to use that phrase, but what are people my age? Because I sure as hell don't know that. Because my ID might say that I'm 26. But thinking about all kinda adult stuff really fucking scares me, like making my own appointments and paying my own bills. That's weird and scary, and I just want to go and take a nap with my 10 plushies. And yes, so and I know I'm just rambling here, but you probably understand where I'm coming from, and maybe you even feel the same. And yeah, so age is so weird. And I think unless it's concerning some stuff like legal drinking age and other legal age things, I think unless that stuff stays the same, all the other stuff beyond that, whether you like a kids show or in the job industry, that you might not get a job because you're too old or too young or whatever it should be, it shouldn't matter. Age shouldn't matter whether you get along with someone. As long as you're two consenting adults without a powered indifference. I might add that, because even if you're two consenting adults, there's still a thing called power imbalance, and that's something worth talking about, but I'm not gonna talk about it because I'm no expert in such stuff. That's something for other people to talk about, and I think I've said enough for now. So comment down below, what do you think? What age group are you in, and what age group do you actually feel comfortable in? Like, maybe you're in your mid-30s, but you just wanna hang with your mid-20 peers and talk about the latest teen drama on TV and just enjoy life as it is, not caring about anything beside your responsibilities. Leave a like if you enjoyed this probably really long rant. You're a real trooper if you got until here. Feel free to follow me on my social media on Instagram and Twitter at CommanderNici, just like my channel name. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until I figured out what I can upload next, watch my other stuff. Bye.